wait till she gets canceled, honestly. I don't think she's, like, PC enough for this platform. She was just giving off, like, so much toxic positivity. We need to spread awareness about this, like, right now.
That's so evil. That's just not like she suffers, though, right?
How could you say that? That's not very inclusive at all.
We can dox her for sure. It's for everyone's safety.
Oh, Dr. Luxia, good evening.
What's our current status?
Everything's going as planned. At this rate, we should be able to have the subject online ahead of schedule.
Excellent. Let us prepare for the final stages of development.
Emergency. Breach in Block 28.
10, what's going on?
A creature has escaped from the testing facility.
Lock down the lab. I'll take care of this.
Gah! Out of my way! I'm trying to escape this place!
Sorry, but that's not happening.
Yeah? And who's gonna stop me? Some frail nurse? Don't make me laugh.
You're welcome to try.
Driver!
Let's begin your checkup, shall we?
Okay, ready!
Hizzy!
Get equipped! Armor 0!
Who the hell are you?
Part-time nurse, part-time e-girl, all times catgirl hero. Common VTuber 0. Examination, begin. Hey guys, Zero here, and I'm going to unbox this package I got from Magic Spoon. First, let's look at the sides of the box. Alright, let's open it up and see what we've got. So we have 4 different flavors: fruit, frosted, peanut butter, and cocoa. I've had the peanut butter and cocoa before, so let's dive right into frosted. Alright, well after sampling all 4 flavors, I gotta say, I like all of these, with peanut butter and frosted being my favorite. Don't forget to use the link down below and use my code STREAM1522 to get $5 off your first purchase. Hello everybody, hello, or not, hello, almost said Pearl, hello Paris, and thank you VTuber Eldra82 for following, a day ago, appreciate you. Okay, so, yes, I am sponsored again by Magic Spoon. So before we start looking at the Game Awards stuff, we are going to be doing a quick thing with that real quick. So we're going to hop into that first. But I hope everybody's having a good day, having a good time. I got to update that thing because my code has changed. They gave me a new code for the Magic Spoon stuff. So probably should update that. But anyways, we're going to hop into this here in just a second. First and foremost, let me just make sure the chat is not showing up on the screen. That is why. Okay, because it switched to the YouTube one. Okay, now it's showing up on the screen. Great. So anyways, yep, just like before, if you hit exclamation point Magic Spoon, you can get $5 off using my new code, which is Stream3370, and go from there. So Magic Spoon, as some of you know, for those of you who don't know, they're keto friendly cereal. There's no it's low carb, low sugar. I demolished the boxes I got last time, and we're actually going to get some more this time because they sponsored me a second time, so I'm going to do the sponsorship again. So just real quick, we're going to switch over to the stream screen to show you guys. Again, this is not, none of this is obligated, but if you want a sugar-free cereal that tastes good and is healthy for you, this is definitely a good option. Like, no joke, for real. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, for real, the fruity one literally tastes like Fruit Loops to me, and I haven't had Fruit Loops in like years. So I was pretty excited. Anyways, let's switch over to the stream screen. And it's not showing up, which is fine because there it is there. So this is the web page you go to when you click on my link in the chat. This is what you'll get. It has some information on the different flavors. We tried the variety pack before, which is the pack that I think I get another one of those. Yes. Okay. So that's what we're going to do today. But let me just show you how this works. So you click on my link and it gets you to this web page. So first and foremost, what we need to do is they've got a lot of different flavors. The variety pack comes with fruity, peanut butter, cocoa, and frosted. I really like all 4 of those, but they've also got blueberry muffin, which I really want to try, maple waffle, and cookies and cream, which I think the cookies and cream is similar to the cocoa one, but it has a little extra. But anyways, let's go ahead and go down to try now. So this is the 4-pack. There is a 6-pack where you get a little bit more savings. And you get a couple more flavors. You can build your own variety pack as well. Which it looks like is about the same price, which I might do a build your own just because I want to try some other flavors for you guys and see what they're like. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Let's see if it'll let me do this. Okay, so I got fruity peanut butter before. Ooh, salted caramel. Ooh. Cinnamon roll. Honey nut. I do like honey nut Cheerios, but let's see what else we got. Maple waffle. Oh, I gotta try the cookies and cream. You know what? I kind of want to try blueberry muffin, cookies and cream. Let's see. Reese's Puffs, peanut butter, chocolate flavor. They do not, but I mixed the cocoa and the peanut butter together, and it tasted like it. It tasted pretty close. I don't like their cocoa as much as other chocolate cereals, but mixed with peanut butter, it was really good. Let's see. I got frosted last time. Let's see. I definitely want to try the blueberry muffin. Maple waffle. This is so hard because I'm not really a fan of apple cinnamon stuff, but I kind of want to try the cinnamon roll and the honey nut, but I also want to try the maple waffle. You know what? We're going to go honey nut. We're going to go maple waffle. We're going to get a 4-pack. And we're going to add to cart. Let's see. Yeah, okay. All right. So I can't show my checkout screen, so I'm going to be just closing that for a second, and I'm going to go ahead and check out. Okay. So, and if you use my link, it automatically provides a coupon code. So what we're going to do is you can use that code stream3377. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that. Just 1 second here. Sorry, I have to do this without you guys seeing the screen. Oh, can I not use it for this one? Oh, I can't use it for a custom box set. I have to get like a regular one. Oh darn. Oh well. That's okay. I like the stuff that I got before. I can't use my coupon. It's for a different coupon code. It's like a specialty one that I have to use for the thing. So, well, that's fine. We'll add that to the cart. Check out. So I'm not getting special flavors this time, but that's fine. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so let's see. So let me make sure I have enough for the shipping here, because I do have to pay shipping on this. Oh. I gotta use the Authenticator app. Luckily, I have it on my other phone. I don't have to use my main one that I'm using for facial tracking. So that's good. 1 second here. Oh. Sorry, guys. I know this is riveting content, but you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Okay. What? Wrong code. I'm silly. Okay. Just make sure. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, guys. You go ahead and okay. Okay. Don't worry, guys. We will get to the content here in just a second. Just fulfilling my requirement for this. Okay. Huh? Okay. Well. Okay. So, let's see. we work on here? Da, 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 da. And survey says. Oh. It's processing. Oh. One second, guys. This card I'm using is not saying it's declined, but I know it's not. Credit cards. Okay. It doesn't went through, but it says declined on their site. Okay. I don't understand, but sure. Well, whatever. I'll just do it through PayPal then. It's going to be a butt like that. There we go. Okay. And so that's done. So real quick, let me get a quick been sent a update that it's set up. Luckily, because these are the flavors I've already done, I already have a video ready for you guys, as you saw at the start of the stream. I just need to update the the code on it. So anyways, when those come in, I'll be excited because I love, oh God, I'm excited for that fruity cereal again. Anyways, that's enough of that. Let's get to the main course of today's stream. And let's go ahead and open up the Game Awards thing here. Now, if you are part of my Discord server and you would like to watch with me, I will be hopping into the streaming section on my Discord server. So you can watch with. It's not obligated, but if you guys want in, you can. So I'm going to go in there now. I'm going to share my screen. So if anybody wants to hop in, feel free. Anyways, let's get right to it. Let's see what Jeff has to say. Wow. That's deep.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jeff Keighley, and on Thursday, December 8th, we are going to celebrate
have a safe
the
trip.
best in video games and see what's next at the Game Awards, which streams live from the Microsoft Theater in Los Angeles. Yes, there will be new games to announce. The Game Awards Orchestra will return, and there are many other surprises in the works. But today, it's all about revealing.
I'm going to try and do
nominees
more of
across
them
more than
with the community
30 categories,
so
including,
this
of
will be the
course,
last
Game
one.
of the Year, as selected by our global jury of more than 100 media outlets. Remember, you can help select the winners by voting at thegameawards.com and on our Game Awards Discord server. Who's in the running? Well, it's my honor to announce this year's distinguished nominees.
Let's see.
For Best Performance, the nominees for 2022 are Ashley Birch, Horizon Forbidden West.
Okay.
Charlotte McBurney, A Plague Tale Requiem. Christopher Judge, God of War Ragnarok. Bannon Gage, Immortality. And Sonny Suljic, God of War Ragnarok.
Nice.
In the category of Best Multiplayer, the nominees are Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Multiversus, Overwatch 2, Splatoon 3,
Yeah, Splatoon 3.
and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Oh,
Shredder's
that's a good
Revenge.
choice.
For Best Ongoing Game, the nominees are Apex Legends, Destiny 2,
Okay.
Final Fantasy XIV,
Okay.
Fortnite, and Genshin Impact.
Ooh, Genshin Impact.
The nominees for Best Art Direction are Elden Ring,
Okay.
God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Scorn,
Ooh,
and
Scorn's on there.
Stray.
Stray.
For Best Score and Music, the nominees are
Hell yeah.
Olivier Derivière, A Plague Tale
Tale.
Requiem, Susaka Sato, Elden Ring,
Okay.
Bear McCreary, God of War Ragnarok, Two Feathers, Metal Hellsinger,
Okay.
and Yasunori Mitsuda,
Ooh,
Xenoblade
Xenoblade
Chronicles 3. The Best Audio Design nominees are Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2,
Gun
Elden
stuff,
Ring,
Yeah.
God of War Ragnarok, Gran Turismo 7,
Not surprised by that one.
Horizon Forbidden West. Innovation and accessibility recognizes games that are making our industry available and enjoyable to more people. Selected by a special committee of accessibility experts, the nominees are As Dusk Falls, God of War Ragnarok, Return to Monkey Island,
Yes.
The Last of Us Part 1, and The Quarry.
Oh,
For Best Narrative, the nominees are A Plague Tale Requiem, Elden
it's
Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon
Yeah,
Forbidden
Ragnarok
West,
making the rounds.
and Immortality.
Just real quick before we go on, I'm on the fence about God of War Ragnarok being allowed in here just because it just came out and it's only had like a week out there. So it's still fresh in people's minds. So it has an unfair advantage compared to all the other games on this list because of course people are going to be drawn to it as a choice because it's new and it's it's fresh now. But like if it came out like a few months ago, it would be a lot harder competition. It's like the same when Red Dead Redemption 2 came out and it got added to the nominations for the Game Awards that year. It's like it had an unfair advantage because it just came out and everyone was playing it. So I don't know. I feel a little weird about that. I wish that, that more gay, like, on the other hand, it has had a lot less time to prove itself. So it's kind of at a disadvantage there, but it has a much bigger advantage by being a new game. And I feel like I can't say that those games shouldn't be allowed to be here because they came out this year. The year's not over. There's still like a month and a half left, but it just seems kind of sketch and shitty for all the, or not sketch, but it seems kind of shitty for all the other games that, especially games that came out in January, they have way less of a chance than going up against something like Ragnarok. I don't think it should be taken away from the nominations, but I think it should be nominated for nearly as many things, especially not Game of the Year because it's only had a week to get up to that. Like Splatoon 3 has been on one thing so far. One thing. And that, Splatoon 3 is the best of the series so far. It is the best of the series in my opinion. It should be on more stuff. Shredder's Revenge, another one. Shredder's Revenge is one of the best beat-em-ups I've ever played. It's literally one of the best games I've ever played in the beat-em-up genre. It should be, if it's not nominated for Game of the Year, that's an injustice. We'll see when we get there, though.
Games for Impact recognizes a thought-provoking game with a profound pro-social meaning. The nominees this year are A Memoir Blue,
Okay.
As Dusk Falls,
Yeah.
Citizen Sleeper, Endling, Extinction is Forever, Hindsight, and I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. For Best Independent Game, the nominees are Cult of the Lamb,
Cult of the Lamb. There we
Neon
go.
White,
Neon White.
Sifu,
Stray.
and Tunic. For Best Mobile Game, the nominees are Apex Legends Mobile, Diablo Immortal, Genshin Impact,
There we go.
Marvel Snap, and Tower of Fantasy. Best Community Support, presented by Discord, recognizes a game for outstanding support, transparency, and responsiveness to players. Our nominees are Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy XIV, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky. Okay, now it's time for one of my favorite categories, Best Debut Indie Game, which recognizes a development team that made its first game in 2022, and clearly they hit it out of the park. The nominees are Neon White,
I'm White. Is it
Norco,
really fucking good?
Stray,
Stray is good.
Tunic,
Tunic.
and Vampire Survivors.
Vampire Survivors is
For
probably
Best VR AR Game, the nominees are After the Fall, Among Us VR, Bone Lab,
Should I get Among Us VR,
Moss
guys?
Book 2,
Oh, Moss. I want to play
and Red
Moss
Matter
so bad.
2. For Content Creator of the Year, the nominees are Carl Jacobs,
I don't know who you are.
Ludwig,
Oh, hey, I know Ludwig.
Rebellion,
I don't know you.
No Brew,
I don't know you.
and QT
I
Cinderella.
only know Ludwig.
The nominees for Best Action
Ludwig's
Game
pretty
are
great.
Bayonetta 3,
Bayonetta 3. Okay,
Modern Warfare 2,
Haven't played
Neon
it.
White,
I haven't played it, but it looks
Sifu,
great. Looks great
Teenage
as well.
Mutant Ninja
yes,
Turtles,
yes,
Shredder's Revenge. The Best Action Adventure Game
game,
nominees
okay.
are A Plague Tale Requiem,
Okay.
God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray,
Okay.
and Tunic.
There we go.
For Best RPG, the jury selected Elden Ring,
Elden Ring.
Live Alive,
Oh, yes.
Pokemon Legends Arceus,
Oh, God, Live
Triangle
Alive's on
Strategy, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Xenoblade's probably going to take
The
it.
Best Fighting Game
Xenoblade
nominees
3.
are DNF Duel, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure,
Yes.
King of Fighters 15, Multiversus,
Multiverse
and
is good.
Sifu. What's the most anticipated upcoming game? Remember, these have to be games that are officially announced. The nominees are
Okay. Most anticipated.
Final Fantasy 16,
Yep.
Hogwarts Legacy,
Ew.
Resident Evil 4,
Yes.
Starfield,
Starfield. Okay.
and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. This year, there's a new category at TGA, Best Adaptation, which recognizes excellence in authentically creating shows, movies, and other creative endeavors based on video game worlds and characters. Here are our first ever nominees for Best Adaptation. Arcane, League of Legends, Cyberpunk Edge Runners,
Okay.
The Cuphead Show,
Ooh.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2,
Oh, God.
and Uncharted.
Oh, some good choices.
Next
in
up,
there.
Best Family Game. The nominees are Kirby and the Forgotten Land,
Yeah.
Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, Mario and
play it.
Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Nintendo Switch Sports, and Splatoon 3.
Yes.
The Best Sim Strategy nominees are Dune Spice Wars,
Okay.
Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Total War Warhammer 3, 2 Point Campus, and Victoria 3.
Some interesting choices.
This year, these 5 games are nominated for Best Sports Racing, F1 22, FIFA 23, NBA 2K23, Gran Turismo 7, and Ollie Ollie World.
Ollie Ollie World.
Next
Wow.
up, we're looking at our 5 esports
No Knockout City, though?
categories,
Come on.
Starting with Best Esports Game.
Dodgeball's a
Nominees
sport.
are Counter-Strike Global Offensive,
Okay.
Dota 2, League of Legends,
Okay.
Rocket League,
Okay.
and Valorant.
Only one of those.
Your
I really
best
care about.
esports athlete nominees are Chuvy,
I don't know you.
Faker,
I know you.
Kerrigan.
Sort of. I don't know you.
Simple,
I don't know you.
and Yay.
I don't know. I know.
Here
one
are the
person.
5
It's
nominees
fake.
for Best Esports Team. Dark Zero Esports,
Don't know.
FaZe Clan,
I know of
Gen
FaZe.
G,
I know that.
LA
I don't-
Thieves,
Don't know.
and
I kinda
Loud. The Best Esports Coach nominees are Blade,
Don't know you.
Bazooka,
Don't know you.
Doom Bros,
Don't know you.
Robin,
Don't know you.
and Score.
Don't know you.
The nominees for Best Esports Event are
Okay.
EVO,
Evo. Okay.
the League of Legends World Championship, PGL Major Antwerp, the MSI, and Valorant Champions. And now
I know
our final
Evo.
2 categories. For Best Game Direction, which recognizes outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design, the nominees are Elden Ring,
Okay.
God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West,
Okay.
Immortality,
Okay.
and Stray.
Stray.
And finally, on behalf of the jury comprised of more than 100 global media outlets, I am proud to announce the 6 games selected for outstanding creative and technical excellence. The nominees for Game of the Year at the Game Awards are A Plague Tale Requiem from Asobo Studio and Focus Entertainment, Elden Ring by From Software and Bandai Namco Entertainment, God of War Ragnarok from Sony Santa Monica and Sony Interactive Entertainment, Horizon Forbidden West from Guerrilla Games and Sony Interactive Entertainment, Stray from Blue 12 Studio and Annapurna Interactive, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 from Monolith Soft and Nintendo. Congratulations to all the nominees. The winners will be revealed when the Game Awards streams on Thursday, December 8th, and you can help select who will take home the award. Head to thegameawards.com right now to vote, and also visit our Game Awards Discord server for voting. Stay tuned for many more details as we get ready for the biggest game awards yet. I can't wait, and it all streams live and free everywhere on Thursday, December 8th.
And I am a
Hope to see you
co-streamer,
then.
so I will be streaming.
Don't forget to
Official co-streamer. Really anticipate. Yeah. Okay.
Get ready.
I don't know.
Be to meet 50 individuals who represent the bright, bold, and inclusive future of gaming. The TGA Future Class, presented by Old Spice, coming December 8th to the Game Awards.
Okay. Well, in terms of voting, well, let's just discuss this a little bit. I don't know if anybody's gonna hop in, but let's discuss a few of these because there's quite a bit to go over. So, let's see. Okay. Let's see. Okay, vote now. Let's see what options we have here. Okay, let's go over these here. Let's view all the categories. Okay, so let's start let's go over each category and see what makes sense. So we're going to start with Game of the Year. So Plague's Tale, Elden Ring, God of War Requiem, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Xenoblade 3 definitely and Stray definitely deserve to be here. I haven't played either of them. I haven't played any of these games. But just based on what I've seen, Stray and Xenoblade 3 definitely should be there. As well as Elden Ring, I agree on that because Elden Ring was huge this year. It was like it's the biggest it's the biggest Souls game of the franchise. It had the multiplayer. Everyone was talking about it. Okay, I lost Karama for weeks to that game. Like, she took a week off work just to play Elden Ring. Like, and it was that impressive. So I've been wanting to give it a shot. I just haven't really had the time to try it out. I was supposed to try it out when I went to the States back in August, but we didn't get around to it because Karama had her laptop with her. But yeah, no, out of these three, it's either got to be for me Elden Ring, Stray, or Xenoblade Chronicles 3. It's one of those three. God of War Ragnarok is too new. It can't be Game of the Year. It shouldn't even be on this list. It shouldn't be on here at all. It's too new. Horizon Forbidden West, I've heard literally nothing about this. I've heard literally nothing about this. Plague's Tale Requiem, I haven't played it, but I've seen a lot of good things about it. So I would say it should be on here. If I was to, I would trade out God of War Ragnarok and Horizon Forbidden West for Shredder's Revenge for one of them, and the other one would probably be like Cult of the Lamb. Calls of the Lamb was huge this year. It was like one of the biggest games, and it's been nominated for one award. Why is it not on Game of the Year? There's no reason why it shouldn't be. Like, and it's not that they wouldn't allow indie games. Stray's on here, so I don't know. It just doesn't make much sense to me. Let's go back to the categories. Let's see. View all the categories. Best game direction. Okay. So, we've got Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Immortality, and Stray. Again, the only two I really see this for game direction is between Stray and Elden Ring. I think Stray is probably deserving of this, honestly. Because even if you just watch that game is gorgeous. I want to play Stray so bad. I need to get it. But it's gorgeous of a game. It's awesome. The only reason I haven't played a game like Stray is because I have to be picky and choosy with what I play because I'm on a fixed income right now. So I can't buy every game when it comes out. And I couldn't afford Stray when it came out. So, Calls of the Lamb is an indie. And it was, but so is Stray. So, but I think Stray has a bigger budget. And that's why it's probably considered more AAA-ish. It does have a definitely more polish than your standard indie game. So, anyways, what's the next category? Next category is Best Narrative. I would probably say Plague's Tale would probably be the one to get that. Elden Ring, maybe. And I'm sure the God of War, Ragnarok, Horizon, Immortality, all have good stories, but I know nothing about these stories. I know a bit of Elden Ring and Plague's Tale. I would probably give it to Plague Tale in that one. Best Art Direction. I love that Scorn's on here. Like, that game's art direction is fantastic. But so is Stray's as well. It's between those two for me because I think my head says Scorn, but my heart says Stray. I'm like torn between those. But yeah, no, one of those two. Okay, best score. Okay, Metal Hellsinger's score is fucking awesome. But so is Xenoblade's. I'm going for a lot of these later ones, but like these were great. By the way, speaking of a game that has a great soundtrack that I've been playing recently. First off, why is Splatoon 3 not up here? Splatoon 3 soundtrack is fantastic. But a game I've been playing recently for my channel, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, has an amazing soundtrack. The first boss theme is fucking metal as hell. I love it. But you know, it's one of those things where it's like, huh. Ugh. Or I think I would put it between Metal Hellsinger or Xenoblade Chronicles 3, just out of what I've heard of each. Best audio design. You know what? Call of Duty always has good audio design. That's one thing that I'll say that it's really good at. So even though this just came out recently, I would still probably say it's definitely a contender. Gran Turismo 7, like all the Gran Turismo games, have really good audio design. I haven't played much of Forbidden West, but its audio design is on point. Elden Rings is not really. I don't know why it's up here. Like, yes, it does have good, you know, it's appropriate, but I wouldn't put it in like best audio design. It still has a problem with leveling, which is something that needs to be. It's just something that, like, I think they need a lot more work. Like, this shouldn't be on here. Like, Elden Ring should not be on here. The sound design is not great. And the entire Soul series does not have good sound design. It's something that is really holding it back. And so I don't know why it's on here. But anyways, yeah, it's probably going to be Call of Duty or Gran Turismo 7 for me. Either one of those. Like, they both have great sound design. Best performance. Honestly, like, I gotta give it to, like, Christopher Jude. Christopher Jude or Charlotte McBurney. Both of them did a fantastic job this year. And yeah, I know God of War Ragnarok just came out, but Christopher Judge just knocks it out of the park with his version of Kratos. But Shire McBurney did a really good job for what I've seen of Plague's Tale as well. Like, very, very good actress. Now let's see. Games for impact. So which of these games for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message? Okay. Well, if I had to pick one out of these, it would either be As Dusk Falls. You know what? I would probably pick As Dusk Falls out of all of these. It's the one that definitely made the most impact out of me, just based on not playing these. Again, I haven't played a lot of these games that got nominated, which sucks because I did play games this year, new games, but they never nominate the games that I play. So they've done a few, but not in categories I would pick. But like, if I was to pick one that had the most impact out of these games, just based on marketing and other things, I'd have to go As Dusk Falls. They pushed the hell out of that game. And from what I've heard, it's pretty good. Best ongoing game. Okay. So the only one out of these that I really care about is Genshin Impact. And as somebody who just recently got back into Genshin, it would definitely get my vote. It's still just as fun now as it was back then. Still hard as balls, but you know what? That's fine. I would probably say Genshin for this. For best ongoing game. Oh, excuse me. Go ahead and drink some water. For best indie, I agree with all these options. All these games were great. Like Neon White and Call to the Lamb, like really, really, really made an impact on people this year. So did Stray. Tunic I've been following for a long time. I want to play it. It looks great. And Sifu, I haven't paid a ton of attention to. From what I've seen, I've liked. So Sifu's one definitely that deserves to be up there. Sorry, one sec, guys. Yeah, Indie's going to be a close one for sure. Call of the Lamb, I think, is going to take it. Just because out of all these, I think it's the most popular. But a lot of people played Neon White and Stray, and I think it's between those three. As much as I like Sifu and Tunic, I'm pretty sure it's going to be between the three: Call of the Lamb, Neon White, and Stray. Just because a lot of people played all of those games. Like, there's still people streaming all three of these. Like, let's just see real quick. Let's go to Twitch and see what. No, not Sky's Twitch. Let's go to Twitch and let's just go to. Let's search for a category. Categories you think you'll like. Yada yada yada. Okay, so let's go to categories. Let's go to games, and just on like my recommended, I don't see any of these here. But let's search for Stray. How many people are playing Stray right now? No, not Stray less. Stray. How many people are playing Stray? It has 167 viewers right now, just for the people playing Stray. That's not a ton, but let's do Cult of the Lamb on Twitch, just like right now. 1.7k people are watching people play that. Hi, Kane. Oh, well, we're just discussing stuff from the Game Awards nominations. And right now we're looking at the Best Indie Game nomination, and I'm saying it's going to be probably between Stray, Neon White, and Cult of the Lamb. Just right now, just like live right now, Cult of the Lamb has a lot. But what about Neon White? How many has Neon White got? So Neon White's dropped off quite a bit. There's only 17 viewers for Neon White right now. So if anything, Cult of the Lamb's probably going to take it, just based on whatever. Oh, you got into the voice chat? Hold on. I'll pop you in. Hello? Hi, Halsey. Neon White is it's a roguelike first person puzzle game. And you have cards for your abilities. And I actually really want to do a stream of it myself because it looks really fun. But when it first came out, it was super popular. Kane, if you are there, I cannot hear you. You can hear me? It says you're on push to talk. Oh, it's probably shoot, I forgot about this or why it does this. No, I don't need push to talk. It does this every time I put somebody in here. It says speak is on. Oh, I think I just fixed it. See if you can say something now. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put you back in general. I'm going to throw you back in here. Just one sec. Hello? Is it still? Is it still not letting you? Is it still saying you're stuck on push to talk? It shouldn't be. I just updated it. Weird.
There we go.
There we go. I can hear you now.
There we go. Hi, how are you?
Good, good. We're just going over the Game Awards nominations. We were looking at indie. But let me go back to the earlier categories to get your opinion on some stuff.
Yeah, no problem.
So we start off we're starting off from the last one in the list. So we've got Game of the Year, and these are the nominations here. I said I think it should either go to Xenoblade, Stray, or Elden Ring, just because those three were pretty big, impactful games this year.
I would agree, but I feel like due to how people have been going on, it's probably going to either go to Elden Ring or even Ragnarok, because everyone is saying Ragnarok is 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. So my assumption would be it's either one of those two. It's either Elden Ring or Ragnarok.
This is what sucks about that, because I've been saying this recently. Like, every time there's a game that gets released in November, it's always the freshest on people's mind. And it's popular at that time. So people are like, oh, it's Game of the Year. And like, so games that were released in January have no chance, because now this game that's brand new is going to get, a Game Award. And I sometimes feel like devs do that on purpose. They wait for November for a game to come out. And I think that's too late in the year. I don't even think it should be on Game of the Year, because it's only going to have 2 months to, not even a month to get that much. So I don't know. They did the same thing with Red Dead Redemption 2. It came out in November, and it sweeped like the Game Awards. Actually, ironically, the only award it didn't win was Game of the Year, and the original Data Boy won that. So, because it had come out earlier in the year. So I just think it's funny that now it's pulling the same thing that Red Dead Redemption 2 did. It just sucks, because personally, I think they shouldn't be allowed to be on Game of the Year if they come out this late in the year.
Oh, I agree. I mean, it's like Callisto, because Callisto's coming out in December, so we're not going to get to see that until probably next year's Game Awards.
Oh, it might not even count, because it'll be next year. Like, it's just like, I don't know how they do these things. Maybe it will count. I don't know. But
maybe. I'm not sure either, to be fair, because the Game Awards is a bit up in the air. I've just been listening to it over the last 2 years now, didn't really pay attention to it until they got rid of E3, because that was pretty much my go-to for gaming news mostly.
Right.
Now it's just Game Awards.
Game Awards, Summer Game Fest, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've been following the Game Awards since it started, and it started out rough, but it's come a long way. It's just this is the one thing that bothers me. They let games that are like released very late in the year to have a chance to get Game of the Year, and I don't think that's fair. I think they need to not put that on there, because like it again, game released in January has no chance. It has no chance of competing with a game that just came out, because it's fresh in people's mind, unless people have been playing that same game the entire year. Like Elden Ring, I think is the only one that actually has a shot of beating God of War Ragnarok here, because of how popular Elden Ring is.
I
Xenoblade
agree.
is also really high up there, but like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is one of those ones where like you'd have to play the first two to kind of get the sense of where it's at. So if you weren't already a big fan of Xenoblade, this one's probably not going to change your mind. So, but no, like if anything, I hope Elden Ring takes it over God of War, because even though I didn't play Elden Ring, I saw how how community based and everything it was, like how big it became. Like I said, like I lost Karama like for weeks to Elden Ring. So it's it's like she took a week off work when the game came out because she knew that she was going to need all that time to play it. So I would be in voice chats with her, and she'd be playing it. And I'd be like, that's not a problem. I play games when I'm in voice chats with them as well, but like every time I'd be like, you playing Elden Ring? She's like, yep. So that's why I'm like Elden Ring, even though I haven't played it, I know Elden Ring was very popular this year. So I think it's the only one that has a chance of beating God of War Ragnarok here. And nothing against all the other games. Like I don't know anything about Horizon Forbidden West. Stray, I've watched a lot of. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I've gotten a lot of information of. And Plague's Tale, I've been paying attention to because I want to play it at some point, but I haven't gotten a chance to. But I think Elden Ring's the only one that has a chance on that.
I agree, yeah.
Okay, so for best game direction, we've got a few here. Any opinions on this?
For best game direction, I mean, it's kind of hard. I would probably say I would go to something like, say, Stray, because the visual storytelling with the way they did Stray was, well, it's a good move. It's not like, say, I don't know if the name is the name of it. Just remember that it was made by the same people who made DS. I think it's called Everyone's Gone to the Rapture.
Oh yeah, Everyone's Gone to the Rapture. Yeah, I wanted to play that, but I haven't had a chance to.
Well, just to let you know, it's quite boring if you don't know where you're going, because sometimes the thing you're supposed to follow glitches. So you're wandering around an empty, massive world to be able to go from plot point to plot point in that one. It is a good story though, so I'm not gonna like spoil anything to that. But it's just Stray does it in a better way where you're just playing it and everything you interact with has a bit of a story to it. It's not like you have to go from plot point to plot point. If that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Even though I've never played it, I've only watched people play Stray, and a friend of mine loved it. He played it for about, I think it was, he said he spent 5 whole days doing everything, combing through it.
I haven't played any of these, but I've watched Elden Ring and Stray is definitely one that I would agree. I think it's got the best direction. Just the way that it was set up, and the way the world looks, and like it's and not only that, you have to do all that from the perspective of a cat, like not from a human's perspective. So you have to take that into consideration. So that takes a lot more effort than just doing it for like a human character. So I think it's just visually and everything else, it just looks more interesting to me.
Oh, it is. I mean, if anything, I would take Elden Ring off this game direction, only because, to be honest, Elden Ring is basically all the Souls games with all the pieces that were perfect and bundled into one. So you've got all of the good parts of Demon Souls You've got the good parts of Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, a bit of Sekiro and Bloodborne rolled into one, and that's what Elden Ring is. It's an accomplishment of everything good popped in to one package. And its world is good, don't get me wrong. J.R.R. Martin is really good with his arts, with his influence into it, but I don't think it would have a candle to anything like Stray. But if that's just me though.
Right. Yeah. No, I would agree. Like when I look at Elden Ring, I'm like, looks like you're at this point standard Souls affair. Just
Yeah.
the best of that. Like I would agree with that. But like Stray is like has its own visual style that like just is way more. It has way more to it than something like Elden Ring. You know, don't get me wrong. I think it, like I said, I think Elden Ring looks fine, but like it doesn't. I don't think it holds a candle to the way Stray is.
Yeah.
But let's see here. Okay, so for best narrative, again, I didn't play any of these, but like of the ones that I've seen, I think Plague's Tale probably has some of the strongest narrative. I don't know much about Immortality, to be honest.
I've never heard of Immortality. This is the first time I've ever seen it, to be fair.
I've heard of it. I just don't know much about it. Which makes it tough. Like the only one of these that I really know a lot about the narrative is Plague's Tale. So
Same. I mean, I've played the entirety of Elden Ring, and to be fair, it's just like every other Souls game. You have to piece together everything with collecting items and weapons, and you have to piece together the plot. And that is, that's not really good storytelling. It's not really enrapturing you to go after every piece of armor and the gear and the weapon and stuff. It's like, that's like playing Diablo and saying, I need to go after the necromancer's cape because it tells me about why the necromancer's passed to another dimension or some jibber jabber. I'm making bollocks off as I go, but you know what I mean.
no, exactly. And so like that's why it doesn't make sense to me that Elden Ring's on here. Like I get why it probably made it, but it doesn't make much sense to me because when I think of like when I think of a narrative enriching story, I don't think Elden Ring. I don't think the Souls series. Don't get me wrong, they have story. I'm not saying they don't have it, but that's not my thought when I'm like, oh, it's a story based game. No, Elden Ring's a game where you try not to die. That's the kind
Pretty
of
much,
game it
yeah.
is. You go looking for stuff and you try not to die. That's what the Souls series is.
With that and making your own story, but
yeah.
that's all I can say.
Yeah.
But you can do that with any game.
It has story, it has lore, but it is not. I would not call it like an impressive narrative. It's a status quo, I would say, in that case.
Yeah.
Let's see. So the next one is best art direction. For me, it was between Scorn and Stray. Like, I really like the way Scorn looks because it's got that H.R. Giger style of like just like creepy and weirdness for like the way it does like the characters, the environment, stuff like that. And not everybody likes that, but like it is a very unique style that I really do enjoy. But Stray again is just one of those games that like it just looks so visually like impressive and amazing. So it's up between those two for me.
I mean, I would agree with you on that because for me, when it comes to God of War and Horizon, they've both of them have set their world up and they've already built their world from the past game they've created. So that can't really, you've seen it somewhat of it in the past. Yes, you're elaborating more, but we've already seen what it's going to be grander and more spectacle, yeah, but it's not as impressive as the first time we saw it. So from what we saw of Scorn and Stray, I would say more Scorn, just like how you said, because it is a take on H.R. Geiger's basic arts and stuff. But I would say that it's both. Let's just say gortastic, if you want to like call it amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it takes very structures from his art, like I forgot the name of the one that they did back in the early 90s. It was that point and click game
Mm-hmm.
that was made by him.
Yeah.
but that was the only game that was close to H.R. Geiger's kind of art style because he helped make it. So I would say that one will probably win the award. That's what I would think. I
Yeah.
personally think Stray should because I don't know. I really found the world that they made in Stray more mysterious and interesting because with Scorn it felt very barren.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's
that's
two
me.
different types of art styles for sure. So that's why it's such a tough one for me because I want both of them to win, but you can only pick one. So when I go to do my voting, it's going to be kind of tough to choose between the two of them. Um, but no, yeah, both very impressive looking games with their art style, and it's just going to be a tough decision for that one. Okay, so let's see. There's 31 categories, and we're on number 4. So
Oh
I hope
God.
you're ready for this. Um, so hey, FlorgeySteve, what's up? We're just talking about stuff from the Game Award nominees. You're welcome to join in as well if you want, FlorgeySteve, in the streaming chat, in the Discord server. So we're just going over that now. The next
You got a
one.
refractor shard.
Thank you for the bits.
FlorgeySteve cheered. X5. I want Ragnarok to win a few awards.
It can win a few, but I don't think it should win Game of the Year. It definitely should not win Game of the Year. I don't think Ragnarok hasn't earned that yet. I know it's a good game, but it's also fresh in everybody's mind. You know what I want to know? Why Sonic Frontiers wasn't nominated for anything?
Well, that's because, well, to be fair, now that you mentioned that, that's actually a good point because that just came out recently, and why did that not get automatically sent up onto this?
Like God of War Ragnarok only came out like a couple days before it, so like it's not that much before it. Like Sonic Frontiers, like I've only found one person who has had anything negative to say about Sonic Frontiers, and that was Dunkey. But I'm not going to get into that. So.
Well, the thing is, I'm not even a fan of Sonic, and sorry to interrupt you.
Well, no, I'm not either. I like a few of the games. Like there's maybe a handful of the games that I could say that I like. I'm not a fan, and when it comes to 3D Sonic, I don't really like many of them. So like Sonic Frontiers, with it being the first time I'm seeing people play this game and enjoy it, and I saw the reviews come in, I'm like, I actually kind of want to try this game. Like that, I never say that for a 3D Sonic game, like ever. Like the last Sonic game I really enjoyed that came out was Mania, so, and that was like 5-ish years ago. But like Frontiers like looks fantastic, but it wasn't nominated for anything, which I don't understand why it wasn't. Just
I
doesn't
mean, I would
make much
agree with
sense.
that.
I guess also they would say like, well, if that got nominated, then Pokemon would have to get nominated, and Pokemon isn't even out yet. Well, it's like, okay, but Pokemon never gets nominated because they always come out really late. The only Pokemon game that got nominated this year was Legends Arceus because it came out in February or March or whenever that was. It came out earlier in the year. Maybe it came out in January. It's been a while. So, but like, yeah, Pokemon didn't get nominated for anything because it doesn't come out until after the nomination starts. So maybe Sonic Frontiers just didn't make the cut. Who knows? But yeah, I like my whole point, Florg, for not wanting Ragnarok to win Game of the Year is because it's too new. It hasn't had enough time to sit with people. People are playing it right now, and they're saying it's the Game of the Year, but it hasn't been 6 months down the line to see if they still think that. You know what I mean? Elden Ring has been out for almost the entire year, and people still play that game. So that one's, I think, is definitely deserves to be on there. But like something like God of War, it's had a week to be out, so people are going to be more impressed by it because it's new. So I don't know. I think it should get some awards, but it shouldn't get Game of the Year.
I agree with that.
Especially since the original God of War. I mean, of these newer ones, like the original, just gonna call it Data
The
Boy, 'cause that's what everybody calls it. The original Data Boy beat Red Dead Redemption 2 from getting Game of the Year the year it came out. And Red Dead Redemption 2 was sweeping the awards, and it was also a November game, like a late year game that was just sweeping the awards and winning everything. And if it wasn't for Data Boy, it would have won Game of the Year as well. So It's just hypocritical at this point. It's like, oh, the last game won Game of the Year, and it beat a game that was new, that was just coming out. But if it wins again, it's like, okay, you literally use the same strategy that your competitor used.
Didn't it happen as well around the same time with Death Stranding? It did the same sort of thing, if I remember correctly. It had like about a month before the awards.
I don't understand, because like that game, like I have yet to find somebody who about Death Stranding. I've yet to find somebody who says Death Stranding is a great game, but who doesn't say that. Even the people who like it know that there's problems with it. So I don't know why it was even chosen for Game of the Year. I feel like there was a little bit of influence because I know Jeff Keighley is friends with Kojima.
Yeah.
And I've always been under the guise that Kojima already peaked for me. There will never be a better Kojima game, in my opinion, than Police Knots. He will never make anything as good as that ever again.
I've never heard of Police Knots.
Police Knots is it's a visual novel he made for PlayStation. It originally only came out in Japan, but within the last couple of years it got a port in English. So it's similar to Snatcher, if you've heard of Snatcher before.
I know what Snatcher is, yeah.
Again, it's another visual novel, but Snatcher's a cyberpunk style visual novel. It was originally released for the PC-88 and the Sega CD, so it's super rare. So not a lot of people have played it unless they've emulated it. But it's also a really good game of his. Like the two visual novels he made are some of his best games. I know everybody talks about like Metal Gear, or I would even give it to Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake is a really good one that he did. But like everybody talks about the Metal Gears or PT or Zone of the Enders or Death Stranding. Honestly, like to me, he will never make a game better than Police Knots. He'll never make a game better than that. That's like the best thing he's ever made. It's the best story he's ever written for a game, and it's criminally underrated. I think not like people who say they're Kojima fans don't even know that Police Knot exists. And I'm like, how? If you're a fan of him, like, how have you not played this? And so I know it wasn't very good access, but people can get it now. It's in English officially now, and you can get it on, I think, practically everything. But like, he'll never make a game better than that, in my opinion. Like, and I also believe that Kojima was better when he was not in control.
Oh, when he was reined in by an actual company behind him.
Yeah, because now that he has full control over everything, like I don't think that he should be like told what to do. But what I think is like he should be like there should be somebody there to slap his hand when he goes too far. And
yeah.
And Death Stranding was a perfect example of you went too far. So it's funny because I remember, oh my god, I know I'm going on a tangent here, but I remember when all the trailers for Death Stranding were coming out, everyone was like, this game's gonna be awesome, it's gonna be great, it looks great. I was like the only one who's like, this is not gonna be good. This is going to be probably bad. Like because now no one's there to tell Kojima no. And I was kind of right, because half the people I talked to really liked it, and the other half were like, it's okay too. That was not worth my time. So like, and now it's just a meme, like to have a Strand type game. Also, Hi Esky, hi Florg.
I better see Xenoblade in at least one of these awards.
So Xenoblade was nominated for Game of the Year.
I saw.
But yeah, and I was saying, like, I don't think it's going to beat Elden Ring or God of War.
Oh, hell no.
But the fact that it's on the list for Game of the Year is pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But
anyways, best score in music.
Oh boy.
I'm glad you're here, Esky, because you know the most about Xenoblade, and Metal Hellsinger is the only game of these that I think has a chance of winning, but I haven't played Xenoblade 3, so can you tell me a little bit about the music?
It's very classic fantasy, but I think it is very well done.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's thought and emotion provoking. It does what it needs to do and it does it well.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I'm like Xenoblade is on here because I've heard some of the music, but I haven't heard all of it. But I'm pretty sure it has a good chance of winning this, just because of how good the music is.
I would say that Elden Ring shouldn't be on the list, and the only reason why I say that is because a lot of the tracks, if you pay attention, are very close to Demon Souls, and one of them is close to Dark Souls. Especially the main theme is a lot like Demon Souls' opening theme in the beginning.
Kane, do you know what's funny?
What?
Like literally every category except Game of the Year, we're like Elden Ring shouldn't be on here. We're like Elden Ring doesn't need to be on here.
Want to know an interesting fact, Zero?
Yeah, what's up?
Believe it or not, the actual composer for God of War Ragnarok actually appears in the game as an NPC.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
His name. Okay, so his name is Bear. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I gotta say, okay, it gets brownie points for having a guy named Bear.
And he
Zero.
knows.
I'm just gonna send you one of the basic battle themes from the game.
Okay. This isn't gonna get me DMC'd or anything, is it?
Nah.
Okay, because I'm gonna play a bit of this.
So how many have you got? How many categories have you gone through, sir?
We're on the 5th of 31.
31.
I've been chatting my head off, that's why.
Well, we both have a lot to say. Okay, this
Yeah.
sounds pretty sick. I'm going to play this as background music while we chat. So, the categories we did do, I'm going to go back and just go over these real quick in case you guys want to give your opinion. So, first off, this is going backwards from the way they were announced, just because that's the way it is.
Okay.
Game of the Year, we have these 6 titles. I said it's either going to go to Elden Ring or Stray, in my opinion. But Xenoblade is a big contender on there.
Yeah.
I don't think God of War
Elden
Ragnarok
Ring
should
got
be
it
on
just
here.
because of the nature of Souls games.
Yeah. I don't think God of War Ragnarok should be on here because it's too new. I get why it's there. It's just, it feels kind of cheap that it's there.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's been out long enough for enough opinions to be out there.
And the other thing that I said is that back when the original Data Boy came out, Red Dead Redemption 2 had come out very shortly before the Game Awards, and it was sweeping the Game Awards, and it was nominated for Game of the Year, but Data Boy won instead. And I was like, I agree with that because it's been out for a while, and people were, they did a good job with that game. Like, everybody said great things about it. I have no doubt that God of War Ragnarok is a great game. I know people have been talking, raving about it, but it's only been out for a week. It shouldn't be on Game of the Year. It's a little too soon.
That would be like putting Pokemon in the nominations.
Well, that's why,
on the fact that it's a Pokemon game.
Well, that's the other thing.
I was wondering if that was going to be the thing.
Well, that's the other thing.
Scarlet or Violet was going to be included.
Well, that's the other thing, guys. Because before you guys came in here, I said, "How come Sonic Frontiers and Pokemon aren't on the nominations?" Sonic Frontiers just came out, and Pokemon isn't out yet. That's why they haven't been nominated. But I'm like, what's the cutoff if God of War Ragnarok made the list? Because it's not that new, or it's not that old. It's only been out for a week and a half, maybe.
That's the thing. I mean, it's a Sony game, and most of the exclusives always have to appear on there. It's a guaranteed, and plus,
that could be it too.
I don't know who.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because that's pretty much what I think. But also, you have to take into consideration a lot of games, like back when Cyberpunk 2077 first came out, that most reviewers, like the paid ones, let's just say, made it appear everywhere. So that's one of the reasons as well why it would appear everywhere as well. So that's why my assumption is it's also on the Game Awards as well.
That makes sense. But the next category, just real quick, best game direction. We were saying Stray, just because nothing looks like Stray, and how much probably extra work they had to put into to make a game from the perspective of a cat work as well as it does. Made sense. I honestly think Xenoblade Chronicles 3 should have been on here. I don't know why it's not on this one. For game direction, like, that one doesn't make sense to me. Like, everyone I've talked to about Xenoblade Chronicles 3 has talked about how good it looks and how good the story is, which are two main things if you're directing a game. I don't get why that's not on here. But, I mean, with these choices, like, the only one I really know much about or can say that I think deserves it is probably Stray. Does anybody else have anything they want to chime in for opinions on that, or?
I think
Let's give him mine already.
not particularly.
really.
Otherwise, I'm just going to go on a whole tirade about Data Boy, but that's under because
like game direction. Yeah, I can see it being in here.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just as good as the first game, then I totally agree with that being on there too.
If I'm honest, there just without any spoilers, there have been moments I've got to in the game where where it's literally brought me to tears. I've just been so invested in it that much.
So yeah, that makes sense for it.
Also, I just wanna say a little note about Data Boy. Special points for accuracy.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
From what I've seen of it, I want to play it myself, but so I've been trying to keep exposure of it as limited as possible. But between the things we've seen from the first game and what I've seen of Ragnarok, they actually are playing pretty, or as tightly as they can to the actual myths about the gods. They even went so far as to actually make Thor a fat boy, and I appreciate it.
And he likes mead.
Yeah. Thor's a chunky redhead in Ragnarok, like he is in actual mythology.
So like he isn't like he is in Endgame.
No,
you mean the dude version of Thor?
There's no MCU Thor here.
Best narrative, out of the ones on the list here, I was like, personally, I was feeling Plague's Tale. Again, I don't know
yes, absolutely.
I don't know why Xenoblade 3 is not on here.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate. I'm gonna have to write a sternly worded letter.
But out of all of these, like, Plague's Tale is the one that I'm like, of the one that I've seen the most of the narrative, and I'm like, it's a really good story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would agree with that because Plague's Tale, because it continues from the first game, its story is much more.
That does dock it some points, but I mean, three of these nominations do that, so.
Yeah, so they can't really do that. I mean, the only one that you could say is original is Immortal or Immortality.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I don't know much about it. I haven't even heard of it until
I didn't even know what it was. I've never heard of it.
I've heard of it because I saw trailers for it during Summer Games Fest, but I haven't played it. I haven't played any of these though. Like most of the games that got nominated, I haven't played because I haven't had a chance to. So the fourth category is Best Art Direction. I was saying it was between Scorn and Stray, just because Scorn has that.
Oh yeah, Scorn is a very big contender in that.
It has that Giger feel.
Yeah.
But Stray, like the visuals in Stray are just fucking phenomenal.
Stray is very pretty.
Mm-hmm. And I would also give this one probably to God of War Ragnarok. Because from what I've seen, it visually looks stunning.
Yeah.
The first one did.
Mm-hmm. Like, I've watched a few people stream it, and it looks really fucking good. So that's why I would I would probably give it to that one too.
One second. Dinner's ready.
Okay.
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 And the one we were on was Best Score in Music. And I already asked for Eski's opinion on this, so we know what he said for that. But yeah, I'm probably going to say Xenoblade or Metal Hellsinger, because, oh my god, Metal Hellsinger's music is so fucking good, especially if you like metal. Like, it's really, really good.
I mean, I've heard a bit of that music from Metal Hellsinger. It does sound very good. It reminds me a lot of, if you've ever played, I think it's called Van Helsing. It's a top-down like game, and the thing is, there's an add-on to it where you get to go into Motorhead's like world, and all you hear in the back is Motorhead music. It's beautiful. It's really good.
That sounds awesome. I don't know much about. To be honest, I haven't really paid attention to the music in God of War Ragnarok. Florg, you seem to know a lot about the game. How's the music in that game?
Just really, once again, as with the first game, the music just really helps with those emotional themes, and it does get really tense at times. No spoilers.
Okay.
Then again, Bear McCreary has worked on
Oh, hey, we're
a
on
lot
this
of
one.
projects with that.
I was actually
he
just
did the
thinking
score.
about that as I grabbed my lasagna. So, you know what I'm surprised didn't get on here?
What?
Splatoon.
Right, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Splatoon 3 had really good music.
Dude, like that,
The Splatfest theme.
that Splatfest theme, like that's the second one, like that gets my blood pumping when I play the game.
Yeah.
Well, you do know why they probably didn't bother to put it on here, and that's because it's kids' games. Most kid games don't really appear in Game Awards when it's contended with other big ones.
Splatoon 3 has been nominated for a couple of awards. It just didn't get nominated for this one, which I thought was
Oh,
strange.
I know. I'm just saying, like, if it's compared to games like these ones that have been selected, they don't really count it because it's a kids' one, and they normally put that at the bottom unless that year was very sparse.
I don't think it's kind of fair to like only let the epic music games, like the games with epic music, be in.
I don't know,
think we
man.
should put other stuff in here too.
You say they don't put kids games on here, but here's God of War.
I mean, I have to eat my own words there. I mean, we do have a sequel to God of Boy, so in this one we're gonna hear "boy" 10,000 times, even more. 4 times
you know what's
the
funny?
size.
I have the first God of War because I got it when it was a free PlayStation game, so I've been thinking of playing it. And if I do stream it at some point, I'm gonna eventually make a compilation of every time "boy" is said.
Just a boy counter. Bing!
Boy, boy,
boy. I'm sure somebody's done that already.
Oh, I'm sure. But like me saying "boy" back to it. Oh, Best Audio Design was another one I got to. And actually, I normally wouldn't like say anything about a Call of Duty game, but they all have good sound design. All of them do. So that's why
I want to put Xenoblade 3 on here again for one reason and one reason only.
Yes, Uni's the boss.
And Gran Turismo 7, like all the Gran Turismo games, have good sound design. So that's why like those two I'm like I normally wouldn't vote for either of those games for any kind of game award, but like they do have good sound design. Like when you play, like as much as I don't really care for Call of Duty anymore, when I do play one, it feels like you're shooting guns. It feels like you've got good gunplay. If you get stabbed, you feel it, like stuff like that. Like they have good sound design. Like the last Call of Duty game I really played heavily was World at War, and even back then, like you play that game with a good set of headphones, like you feel like you're in World War II. Like you feel like you're there. So, and I remember one of my relatives who was a World War II survivor had a chance to try one of the Call of Duty games. I think he tried that one, and he was like, this sounds like this. He's like, this literally sounds like I'm back in the trenches. Like he's like, this literally sounds like that. So they do a good job making it sound like the actual thing, so that like I totally get why that's on here, because there's a lot of games like that have gunplay where the guns don't sound realistic at all, and they just sound don't sound right.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
It makes me wonder if that's a good thing or a bad thing for people who have actually fought in wars.
It might trigger PTSD for some people, but like the point of especially some of the Call of Duties and other games that deal with stuff like World War II
is that they boast authenticity.
You want that authenticity, because then it's, you can explain how things were in the war, but like it's hard to get to somebody who wasn't around when that was a thing. Like none of us were alive during World War II, so we can hear stories about it. But yeah, shut up. You weren't on the over on Earth during that time, so shut up.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair.
But to be fair though, on World at War, with that game, to be fair, that's the last Call of Duty game that actually had like gore and physics of that nature, where if you shot someone with a shotgun, you see their arm implode like they got shot by Robocop's pistol, and literally screaming and crying while you're burning them and stuff. I know it sounds very sadistic, but that's one of the realistic things they added into that game. And when you shoot them in the face, they'll pop. It was more of the impact as well. It made it more real as well for that game. And that's also my favorite Call of Duty, by the way, along with Medal of, I think it was called Medal of Honor Airborne. It was on the PS3 when it first came out. My favorite Medal of Honor.
Anyways, best performance for me, it's between Christopher Judge and Charlotte McBurney.
Oh yeah, she did a great job.
Like both of them, like Christopher Judge is like the best voice we've had for Kratos.
Yeah,
I do love his work as Kratos, but
personally,
Charlotte's the voice of Amicia, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, she does a really good job at bringing out the moments. She just does a really good job of bringing out the emotion in Amicia, I feel. Because when I was going through it, I really felt like the pain and the panic in her voice in those moments. And the little tiny glimpses you get of actual joy in the game, I really felt that too.
For me, when it comes to... Sorry, what was you going to say?
You go first.
Oh, all right. But for me, I don't know much about the voice actors for A Plague's Tale because I haven't played the game, but from what I've seen, it looks really good. But I will say that when it comes to Christopher Judge, I don't really enjoy his performance as Kratos, and you might call me I don't like change kind of guy, but it's just when it comes down to the authenticity, I prefer the original voice actor. It's kind of like changing.
I still haven't gotten over our loss of David Hayter as Snake, so I understand your pain.
Well, it's not just that. It's just that for me, you can't change voice actors on a whim. Like you can't have Sam Fisher without Michael Ironside voicing, him. You can't. It's the same with the guy who does the voice of 47 in the Hitman games. You can't replace him. If you do, it won't be the same. That's why I feel a bit weird with how he is a good voice actor. Don't get me wrong, but I prefer the original. But that's my personal take on that. But if anything, I'd probably give my vote to Ashley Birch. But that's because I really like her performance as Aloy from the first game. So I don't know if she does the same sort of, if she phones it in or does a very good job in this new one. But that's me.
Okay.
I think overall, I'd probably give it to Christopher Judge over Charlotte McBurney for one reason only, and this isn't even her fault. I'm just gonna bitch about it until the day I die. But giving French people British accents.
One name I'm just a little bit disappointed that was not on there was Danielle Basutti, aka Freya. Because what I've seen in the gameplay and especially her cutscenes, she shows a lot of emotion, and that is something really hard to do for, especially when you're doing motion capture. Well, when you're just using your voice most of the time, they did a lot of motion capture for the game. But I think she deserved to be nominated.
As somebody who comes from a voice acting background, you have with voice acting, you basically have to do everything you would have to do with acting, but with your voice, because nobody can see you most of the time. But with motion capture, a lot of the times these characters are motion captured now, and the actor gets to play the person as well, and that adds another level to it. So not only do they have to give a good visual performance, they on top of their vocal one, it has to match, which is harder to do than you think, because a lot of people will hear voice acting and they'll think it's being over the top, when really it's no, you just you have to do everything with your voice. And that's why sometimes when you get these Pixar movies and stuff, and they get top tier actors to voice them, they don't sound right because they're not voice actors, they're actors. They're not trained to
Chris Pratt
voice. Chris Pratt, perfect example. He's not really a voice actor, he's an actor.
I'm gonna come out and say it, even though I already did. I felt that way quite a bit when it came to what's his name playing Snake in Phantom Pain.
Oh God, not him. Not the guy from 24.
Jack Bauer?
No.
Daniel
Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland. That's it.
Sorry, I don't know why I said Jack Bauer.
One thing I'm kind of disappointed by. I know this is just my Xenoblade bias showing, but Harry McIntyre was the voice for a character named Ed in Xenoblade 3.
Mm-hmm.
And across the board, no matter who I talk to, we all are in unanimous agreement that he did an excellent job with that character, so I'm kind of disappointed he's not on there.
It's tough because, like, they want to pick the ones who have, like, from the most impactful, like, games.
Yeah.
And so that's why they have to pick those ones.
Now, that's the only reason I bring up Xenoblade is because it's already been nominated for things, so that tells me that they were looking at it through the lens of this thing is eligible, so...
Mm-hmm. Speaking of impactful games...
Oh.
The only one of these that I know anything about, or that actually made an impact on me, was As Dusk Falls. Like, the promotion for that game was insane, and everybody I've talked to who's played it says it did something, like, it meant a lot to them near the end. The rest of these I know of, but I just don't know enough of to give an opinion. So As Dusk Falls is the only one I can really say.
Sorry to do this, but I gotta dip on you, man.
You're good.
Yeah, have a good one. Have fun.
Bye.
Oh, I see you.
He seems nice. So this might be a hard category for us to talk about, but that's fine because we've got 20-something left, and I have to leave in like 20 minutes anyways. So
Okay.
We'll start going through these a little quicker. Best ongoing game. The only one of these I still play is Genshin. And I just started playing it again this year. So, I know a lot of people play Final Fantasy 14, so that should be there. A lot of people still play Fortnite. Destiny 2, I still hear people play on and off. So, I get why that's there. And Apex, yeah, a lot of people play Apex, so.
Surprised No Man's Sky isn't there, because that's still being played by millions.
Yeah, it's actually, there was something that No Man's Sky got nominated for that I was kind of surprised by, to be honest. Let's see. Okay, best indie game. This is one where I was like, all of these deserve it, but I think either Cult of the Lamb or Stray is going to take it. Probably Cult of the Lamb. Because as we saw, it's probably the most popular one right now of these.
I would say the same, yeah.
Neon White got a boost from streamers early on, but it's kind of fallen off. And I like Tunic and Sifu, but I'm pretty sure Cult of the Lamb's going to take it.
I mean, I would put my vote on Stray anytime for this one, but that's because well, when I saw Code of the Lamb, it was a good game. It looks good. It's just not my. I've seen too many games are like that for me.
Yeah,
but that's just me. And Sifu looks really fun, but also reminds me of Ninja Gaiden. And you have to be perfect, or you're gonna have a bad time.
Like if I'm doing my own personal vote, I'd probably pick between Stray and Neon White. Either one of those games. Let's see.
Yeah, I'll be the same on that.
Best mobile game. I only really care about Genshin Impact. Get Diablo Immortal the fuck off of here.
Come on, the Diablo Immortal.
Get this out of here. Who's voting for Diablo Immortal? Ugh.
Come on, doesn't anyone have phones?
Oh my god.
Oh, but seriously, I can't handle that. I don't know why that's there either.
Because reasons.
Payment reasons.
Yeah, pay so much money that you can't play the game anymore because you're too strong. Oh my god.
It's and basically Yojimbo level again.
I wouldn't be so hard on Diablo Immortal if its roles weren't so fucking blatant. Like, I think it was Asmongold or whatever. He spent like $2,000 and got nothing out of his polls. Absolutely nothing. He's like, okay, I just want to see if I get anything if I whale this. And so he spent $2,000 and got absolutely nothing. So the game's odds are so fucked that there's a good chance you'll get nothing, even if you whale it. It's just gross. I don't even know why it's on here. This should not be on here. But Genshin Impact is still the one that I play of these. So it's the only one that I can say that I would vote for.
I know a few friends of mine actually still play that game. So pretty much good call to make.
Yeah. I mean, if I'll probably be streaming more of this on YouTube at some point, because I've been doing Genshin on YouTube. But yeah, no, like Genshin, like I stopped playing Genshin for a few years and I started playing it again this year, and it's still as good as I remember it being. So I'm glad that it's still up here. Best community support. I would say all of these, like especially No Man's Sky. What a freaking rebound that game came from.
I mean, I would put my vote on that because I think the developer deserves it, because they've been their story is something for the history books. They made a shitstorm of a game like Cyberpunk, and then they would deem themselves. They didn't make it where you have to pay a single penny to get any of the new content. They just made it all free.
Yeah,
that is
and
good.
You're right. That and Cyberpunk, talk about like a 360 on those. Like going from like one of the most hated games, buggy games, games that were so like No Man's Sky when it first came out was so void of content that it made all these promises and it didn't have any of them, but now it's become onto itself into like a game that people are enjoying playing, and there's lots more to do. Cyberpunk 2077 is another good example. That game was a buggy mess when it came out, and now it's actually a fun game that people are enjoying. So they both games 180'd so hard, and I'm glad that that's on here. For community though, I definitely know Final Fantasy 14. I can't find a person I can't find a Discord server I go into where I find somebody who doesn't play Final Fantasy 14. Everybody's playing this fucking game, except me, because I've started the game 6 times and I just can't get into it. But hey, it's got a community and people are still. It's still growing even after all this time. Let's see. Innovation and accessibility.
Oh, get Last of Us out of here, my god.
Oh my god. Again? Oh, let's play the first Last of Us game a third time.
But with support to help you, and you're thinking...
The only one of these that I really have any attachment to is Return to Monkey Island.
I would agree with that too. Yes, it's definitely.
Definitely. If we're talking about accessibility, all these games have accessibility in them, but if I was picking my favorite, it's got to be Return to Monkey Island. Talk about a comeback for that series. And it was still as good as the originals. It still gives you the same feeling as those original games. Sure, it looks different. It uses a different art style, but if you played the last Monkey Island game and then hopped into this one, you'd feel right at home.
Yeah, and that's what I want as well for other games too.
Sometimes games make comebacks with a new entry and they don't feel right, but Return to Monkey Island, from what I've played of it, it takes me back to when I played those original games. It's such a good game. Best VR AR game. I didn't play any of these in VR, but
oh boy,
Among Us VR I might.
I don't even have VR at the moment, so
yeah,
me neither. So I don't own one either.
Moss Book 2 I'm really interested in. The original Moss I wanted to play. I haven't played it yet though. But Moss is one I definitely want to play, but I don't have much to say because I've not played any of these. But
me neither.
Among Us VR.
My friend played the Among Us one actually. He said it was really unique, but the downside is that it's just very devoid of content for now because it's just one map and there's not that many content you can do. There's not that many mini games. There's only 2 that are needed for the VR headset, and that's it.
So not much to say on that one. Best action game, I've got to give it to Shredder's Revenge. Like, talk about like Shredder's Revenge is got to be like one of the best beat 'em ups I've ever played. It's got so much content for a beat 'em up game. It doesn't overstay its welcome. And 6-player co-op, like the online play is really fun. I can't say no. I wish it was nominated for Game of the Year. Like, honestly, I wish it was, because it deserves it. It's one of the best games this year. But I've heard a lot of good stuff about Bayonetta 3 as well, and of course Neon White. You guys played any of these?
Nope.
I have not played any
They
of them other than Shifu, which was just through share play, and that was the only one that I know a bit of.
I've heard a lot of good things about the Ninja Turtles game.
Oh, it's. Let me put it this way, like, it is like the developers who made it were like we want to make a sequel to Turtles in Time, and that's kind of what it feels like. Like, it feels like if Shredder's Revenge came out in the late 90s as the 5th Turtles game, I think that it would fit in just perfectly. Like, it feels like, as somebody who's very familiar with Turtles in Time and the other Turtles beat 'em up games, like, it fits in perfectly, and they've added enough new stuff to it to make it feel just as good as the other games. So I can't recommend that one enough. It's my game of the year pretty much at this point. Best action adventure. Pretty much all of these are good in my opinion. Like, like, I feel so bad for Horizon Forbidden West because I know little to nothing about it other than it's a sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn. But Tunic, if you like Zelda, Stray is also really good. Plague's Tale is really good for its story, and from what I've seen of God of War Ragnarok, like, it looks like a really fun action adventure game, just like the first one.
Is.
Oh, you don't say.
I mean, for me personally, I'm surprised that there's 2 games that's missing here, just like you said before, Sonic Frontiers, and I would also say as well, maybe, well, to be honest, I haven't seen it at all, which is Kirby Lost Kingdom, I think it's called. It's just
that
disappeared.
game's really
No one has
good.
bothered with it.
It did get nominated for an award, but it only got nominated for a single award, which I was surprised because that game was really fucking good.
Yeah,
I
it
really
was. It
enjoyed that
reminded me of the old ones, and I'm surprised that that didn't get any, notoriety so far. I'm very surprised.
Yeah, it's it could be because of exactly what you said earlier, that it's too kiddie. Even though Kirby has always had really dark themes in it. But yeah, that's probably what it is. But out of these, like, it's a tough choice. I'd probably pick Stray, to be honest, just because it's the one that I know the most about. But I've watched people play God of War Ragnarok, and it's a contender. But let's see. Best role-playing game. In my heart, I have to give it to Live It Live. Because, oh my, like, first off, I never expected that game to get a remaster. Ever. Like, I'm like, what? Why? Why would this, of all other games, get it? It deserves it, but why would it get it? But, like, not only did it get it, it's really good. From what I played of it. And I know Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is popular with people. A lot of people liked Legends Arceus. I didn't really care that much for it, but it's fine. Elden Ring, I guess, counts as a role-playing game? Since you have stats and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that would count. But for me, like, I know I'm in the minority in this, but I would pick Live Alive. I'm happy it's on here, but it's probably not going to win.
I mean, I don't know what to pick here. I'll probably just pick, just because I think it might be a good one, is the triangle strategy. But that's pretty much from what I've seen of gameplay.
I need to play that. I need to play Triangle Strategy. Florg, have you played any of these?
Sadly, no.
No?
But I know one friend I know would probably suggest out of all of them Legends Arceus. Is that how you pronounced it?
Yeah, Legends Arceus. I will 100% admit, while it's not my favorite Pokemon game, I did like what they did with it, and I like that they're using the improvements from that game in the new Pokemon games. The thing that really turned me off of Legend Arceus was the fact that it was heavily focused on your Pokedex. Like, and not only that, the Pokedex wanted you to get a variety of things. Like, there'd be like things like you cannot progress until you catch like 3 or 4 different species of this one Pokemon, and it's like, why? Why is there so much reliance on the Pokedex in this game? Like, it's never been this reliant on the Pokedex. So I was just like I know the game was meant to be like, oh, you're supposed to have a lot of fun going and catching Pokemon, but I'm like, but I want to play the story. Why are you locking the story behind this? But so I didn't get very far.
Maybe they were taking a hint from the Pokerap song. Gotta catch 'em all.
There's like 800 Pokemon. Best fighting game. I've only played a few of these, but I personally have to give it to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R.
I don't know. I mean, I would say maybe Sifu or whatever you want to call it. I mean, I don't know what the other ones are like, but this is my first time seeing that multiverse one. What the hell is Shaggy? Is Shaggy holding the Batwang? What the hell?
Yep, it's a Smash
He's only
style
using
game.
10% of his power.
Yeah, and actually they put Ultra Instinct Shaggy as an ability in the game.
Oh my bloody god!
And Multiverse is really fun, I will say.
Apparently, they've also thought about adding the big Chungus Bugs Bunny in there.
Oh my god, I hope they do. By the way, Multiverse is free to start, or it's free to play. The only difference is if you don't buy it, the characters rotate, which is fine because it makes me learn new characters. But like, it's free and it has crossplay on everything. So if anybody wants to try it, it's easy to get into. But no, yeah, it's a contender too. Like, Johto's the one I want to pick, but I know that Multiverses is probably my next choice if I had to pick between any of these. Much like King of Fighters, I haven't played King of Fighters 15, so I can't really give an opinion on it. And I haven't played DNF Duel yet. Okay, here we go. Best family game. This is the one that Kirby's on, and that's probably going to get my vote, but also Splatoon 3 is here. So it's hard for me to choose.
I'm just going for Kirby because I like my Kerbo.
Oh, it was such a good game. It's such a good game.
Kirby, I think, deserves it.
Yeah, Kirby might have this one. I'm probably gonna have to give it to Kirby because as much as I like Splatoon 3, Kirby was such a good game. Best Sim strategy game. I have played none of these. I played the first Mario and Rabbids and it was okay, but I played none of these. You guys play any of these games?
No.
I've only seen bits and pieces of the Dune one because I have a friend who's a massive Dune fan. So to be honest, I mean, I didn't really care about Dune, so I don't know any about these games.
Well, we could probably just skip this category then.
Oh yeah.
Best sports racing game. Ollie Ollie World is the only one that I know much about out of these choices. Fuck FIFA because it's the same fucking game as last year. F122 I don't know anything about. NBA I don't care. Gran Turismo 7 had a chance to play it, and Ollie Ollie World I've played a little bit of, and I like it. I'm glad it's here. It's like the only indie game on this list of sports and racing games. And it's the only esports game, or not esports game, extreme sports game. The rest of these are all standard sports and racing. Listen, I know you two are from the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know football is a big deal over there.
Yeah.
Any opinions on FIFA?
I hope it burns in hell. Because I mean, I probably sound really un-British like right now, but imagine living next to a pub every night, and when the football was on, all you hear is "yeah." So I don't like football at all. It keeps me up at
hear all the
night. I don't
chavs
like
yelling, England!
it. England, Arsenal every night, and then like, fuck
And
off.
then
I
when they
don't
lose,
care.
they end up having a hissy fit.
Yeah, and then you hear like a bottle falling on the floor with them going, "Oh!"
Do you ever hear people fighting in the street?
Well, I have heard one bloke like screaming, having a screaming match
You want
at one
fucking
guy.
go, mate?
Living in a town centre, it happens more often than you think.
So,
But that bloody way.
I know you two probably won't watch me around this time, but man, if y'all were around when if you guys were around during when I did Pokemon Sword and Shield and just heard all the like terrible British, Scottish, and Irish accents I made playing that game.
Well, let me ask you: did you sound identical to? I forget her name, but she played the main character actress in Viva Vendetta. Did you sound like
Oh,
her?
Natalie Portman.
Yeah, that's it. Did you sound like Natalie Portman in Viva Vendetta?
I have no idea. Probably not.
Oh, then you're good.
I did. The ones that I remember is I did my best posh accent for Marnie, and I did the most pompous, like possible British accent I could do for Bidet or Betty or whatever the fuck his name is. He was like, "Oh, I'm the greatest trainer. You can't defeat me. What? You defeated me?"
My God.
That's as a voice actor, I will say I'm not the best at accents, but I try.
Well, to be fair, you sound a lot like Alfred Ashford from Resident Evil Code Veronica. All
But
you need
Ashford!
is
I must bring glory back to the Ashford family name. Oh!
Bloody hell. And I thought my interpretation was bad when I cosplayed as the guy. I must get back to the Ashford's family name. Like, bloody God.
I honestly, like, I've been trying to do like I've been listening to some like Doctor Who radio play stuff.
Oh God.
Big Finish.
Yeah, some of the Big Finish stuff, and I feel like I'm like there's a couple times I'm like I feel like if I did my own interpretation of the Doctor, I would get crucified. But I kind of want to.
I mean, if you really think about it, if you did your own interpretation, it would fit. I mean, Doctor Who's an alien, so
I'm Canadian. That's basically British, right?
it's the closest you'll get, other than
the Queen's on our money.
There you go.
Well, you realize it's going to be a king in a couple of months.
I know.
Oh yeah, I forgot about King Charles. I forgot about that.
So best multiplayer game. I haven't played Modern Warfare 2. I haven't played Overwatch 2. I know they switched it a little bit from the first game, so I can't really give an opinion on that. But I will say the multiplayer in Multiversus, Splatoon 3, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is awesome. Splatoon 3, though, has too many disconnects for me to want to vote for it. And that's sad because I'm probably not going to vote for Splatoon 3 for any of these awards. But it just, the disconnects happen too often that it's, I can't pick it. It's a fun game when it works. Shredder's Revenge has really good online, so does Multiverses. And I can't speak for Modern Warfare 2. But out of all these, to be honest, it's up between Multiverses and Shredder's Revenge for me. Did you guys play any of these games? Have you played or watched any of these games?
I've seen the Ninja Turtles game and the Multiverses. Not much in the way of Splatoon, although I think it's many of the times I've seen people play it is when I've seen you in your stream, Zero. I would
Splatoon
have to
3
say
is really fun. It's just if it didn't disconnect so much, I wouldn't be so upset. It's better than Splatoon 2 because Splatoon 2 didn't disconnected way more, but it's still not there, and so it's hard for me to vote for it.
I mean, personally, I would say it might be Splatoon 3 for me, but the only reason why is because that's the only one I've seen the most played with when I've seen other people play it. The others, I can't really think of, and this is the first time I've seen Multiverse. Honestly thought when someone showed me that, I thought they did like a Photoshop job of it, because I would never see Shaggy stand next to Batman holding the Batarang while he's holding the burger. It just didn't appear in my mind.
Although they actually had
for
Harley
real
Quinn
though,
and
if you
Taz.
haven't played it, like Multiverses is fun, and it's free and it's on everything. So like, if you're curious, like it's really good. Like if anything, I think one of my favorite characters to play as is, what's the dog from Adventure Time again?
Jake.
Jake is so fun to play as, but he's weird. So like, I wouldn't recommend it as a first character to play as, but he's really fun to play as if you can figure him out because he has like he can contort his body and everything, and it's it's ridiculous.
I'd want to play as Taz, but that's because I like Taz.
Taz is fun to play as too. He's broken though. His tornado is nearly unblockable, but as it should be. All right, content creator of the year. I only know Ludwig. So
same. I don't know who these other people are.
And so I originally didn't care much for Ludwig, but I've gotten into him recently. Seeing him work with other streamers, mostly Sea Dog. And I started watching his own content on my own, and I was like, you know what? I know Ludwig is the stereotypical, I'm a YouTube content creator kind of person, but like, he seems the most legitimate out of all the ones who are doing it. So that's why I'm like, I like him. And so he's the only one I can vote for in this category. I don't know any of the others. Do you guys know any of these people?
Nope.
I only know Ludwig from a few streams I've seen of his, and that's pretty much it. So, if anything, if I had to pick with no choice to back out, I'll just pick Ludwig.
Yeah, Ludwig is probably going to get my vote. No cap. Best debut indie game. Okay, so I know Vampire Survivor's probably going to win, but it's going to have to be Stray for me out of all of these.
Yes.
I'd agree with that because
it hurts me to say that because I know Tunic and Neon White are really good games, but like Tunic is your standard Zelda stuff. So if you like Zelda games, that's the one I suggest. Neon White is also really fun, but I think out of all of these, like Stray is just like the most impactful of all of these. But I know Vampire Survivor is probably going to win just because of how popular it is. But I'm glad it's on there. I'm glad all these are on there. I don't know anything about Noriko, but I like that these are all on here. Okay, best adaptation. This is a tough one for me because Edge Runners, the Cuphead show, and Sonic 2 are all on this, and I'm like, oh, don't make me choose. Sonic 2 was really fucking good, and I was just like, the more I think about it, I'm like, it's so good. The Cuphead show, I've only seen a little bit of, but I really, really like it. The animation's awesome. The acting is great. And Cyberpunk Edge Runners, I've said my piece on this before. While it's not my favorite show that Studio Trigger's made, it was really good. If not a little bit lacking in the characters and story department.
I mean, for me personally, I'd go for Sonic 2, and the only reason why is because it really adapted everything that the Sonic games I've seen and played a bit of have done.
It's like the first Sonic movie was okay. This one is like amazing.
It is. I really do agree with that because, to be honest, if I were to pick any of these things, I'd just pick Sonic. And I would pretend that Uncharted never happened, and the only reason why is because just like how everyone is with Chris Pratt, I cannot see. I forget the name of the guy who played as Peter Parker in the new Spider-Man, and he was playing as Nathan
Tom
Drake
Holland?
in this. Tom Holland. I can't see him as Nathan Drake. Only person I could see
Yeah.
play as him is Nathan Fillion. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He played in Firefly.
Hmm.
I would pick him as Nathan Drake because he looks and has the mannerisms of Nathan Drake. If you ask me, and he's also played as is it Caden 6 or Caden 9 from Destiny?
I can't remember. To be honest.
Well, he played the robot guy with the cloak and stuff. He was
Um,
mostly in the Taken King DLC as far as I can remember.
Now, Florg, I know that you're a bit of a movie expert out of the people who watch me. So I think I know what you're going to say, but I want to hear you say it.
I'd have to say Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
I know that you talked a lot about that in my chat when it came out, so I'm not surprised that that's what you picked. Like I was like, I think I saw it shortly after you. Oh, did you get did you get to see it before everybody else? I can't remember if that was one you got to see before everybody
No.
else.
Unfortunately, our cinema decided not to show that movie. Instead, they decided to go with Morbius.
Oh boy.
And that did not do well.
No. Yeah, you're right. It didn't do well, not at all. But
I went to see it with a friend who I've gone to two Comic Cons this year, and we ended up seeing it in the 4DX.
Oh, nice.
And that really heightened the experience because with the 4DX, it also adds water effects. So in the beginning, where you see Robotnik making mushroom coffee, and he ends up doing a spit take, there's like little jets that are in front of the seats, and when he did a spit take, they automatically activated.
Oh,
and
God.
so we ended up getting squirted in the face, which literally made me jump in my seat.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have a 4D experience one of these days.
And then just when Sonic's going through I think it's when he's going through the labyrinth, you just feel like as if you're in the action because the seats move around and such.
That sounds really cool.
That sounds awesome. Actually, I have had a 4D experience before. There were rides at Disney World I went to when I was a kid that had that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's been so long, and that's a movie I would love to see Sonic like that.
It was an experience to behold.
All right. Most anticipated game. Well, for me, it's going to be Resident Evil 4. You know, a game we already have. But and I don't think Hogwarts Legacy should be up here.
That
Screw
there's
J.K.
been a lot
Rowling.
of things about that.
Sorry, I know that Harry Potter is kind of a British treasure, but I can't support J.K. Rowling.
Well, it's
Don't care about J.K. Rowling either. You're not the only one, mate.
well, there's a lot of division with that kind of subject. I can understand why. It looks interesting, but there's a lot of drama around the whole thing.
I mean,
yeah,
I would
I'm like
agree with
Resident Evil 4 all the way. For me,
I would
that's
say the
most
same. I would say the same because with RE4, that's the only game, to be honest, out of this slot. Surprisingly, I'm surprised Silent Hill 2 by Bloober Team isn't on this list because isn't that coming out this year?
No, it's we don't have a release date for it. Plus, they've only shown pre-rendered stuff, so we don't know. Well, to be fair, you could, if you watched the interview segment that was right after the little teaser they showed, you could see a little bit of the gameplay, and it looks like it's going to be third person, over the shoulder, like the Resident Evil remakes have been. But they didn't show substantial content. That's probably why it's not up here.
True.
All of these other games, we've seen gameplay of some, at least of some kind. I know that we haven't seen a ton of the Zelda one, but we've seen enough that we know what it looks like. It's basically just a sequel to Breath of the Wild. So, we know what the gameplay is going to be like. But yeah, no, all these have had gameplay shown, and that's why that isn't on here. Though I do agree with you. If they were going to allow stuff like that, I would have put Silent Hill 2 on here as well. But to me, it's Resident Evil 4 is the one I'm the most excited for out of all of these. Ironically enough, the remake of all of these.
The 14th time it's coming out, but this time it's remade from the ground up.
Oh boy. Best esports game. I only play Rocket League. So I'm voting for Rocket League.
I mean, I don't play any of these games.
No.
So.
Neither do I.
So. Well, that was
so
easy
I
category.
can't vote.
I know one of these esports athletes, and that's Faker. I don't know any of the rest of them, so if I had to choose, it'd be Faker.
I don't know any of these either because I don't play esports and I don't know anything about it. So I'm like, who are you people?
Exactly. So I could probably just skip that one real quick. Best esports team. I only know about FaZe Clan, so.
Oh boy.
But I don't even like them, so. Well, I know about LA Thieves, but I don't like them either. So, yeah, I have nothing to say here. What, Hot Girl Summer didn't get nothing? I'm kidding.
Oh Lord.
My team for Knockout City, why didn't we get chosen? What the hell? If you could write in your own ballot, I would so do that. Oh, fuck. Okay. Best esports coach. I know none of these people.
Quickly, just vote for the bloke at the end because he has a snappy suit. I don't know any of these people either.
Best esports event. I have to pick Evo. That's the only one that I really watch of these. To be honest.
I don't know either.
It's the fighting game one.
Oh, I mean, I'd probably pick that one too because I only every now and then I watch the fighting game one, but that's only like through just watching videos of it after it's finished.
And that's all the categories. So,
wow.
If you guys want to vote, it's the GameAwards.com. You go to the voting section. You can vote for what you want to do. But that's basically it. And I have to go now, so I'm going to skedaddle, guys. Thanks for joining me.
No problem.
And I'll be around tonight for my regular stream. So if y'all are around then, I'll see you then. But I'm going to go find someone I'm going to hop out and find someone to raid, and then I've got to get going. So you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining in. Appreciate it.
No problem.
All right. Okay, guys, let's see who we're going to raid. Let's see. Who's on? Let's see. Okay. You know what? Let's give it to Alora's on. I think I'm going to give it to Alora. Really? You're going to give me an ad? Come on. Don't do this to me. All right, guys, we're going to rate Alora. She's been going for 18 minutes. Then I'll be back later. You guys know the drill. Rate message if you're subbed. If you're not, you can use this one. Here's my Discord server if you guys want to get in on that. You can also find my social medias here and my YouTube channel here. So, once again, raid message if you are subbed. And there's also the one if you're not subbed, which is this one. So, guys, I'll be back at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for the next... for my next stream. Thanks for joining me for this. Take care, comb your hair and rush, use a brush. Don't do drugs. Stay in school. Eat your teeth. See you next time on Cheat. And please, if you are interested, Magic Spoon sponsoring me again. If you want low carb, low sugar cereal that doesn't substitute taste, it's available in the United States, Canada, and the UK. And you can use my code STREAM3370 to get $5 off your first purchase. No obligation, but if you want to enjoy cereal and not have to worry about it being unhealthy for you, it's the good choice. I'll see you guys tonight. Go say hi to Alora for me, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. All right, guys. Take care. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye. 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 Goodbye. Okay, bye.
Honestly, no, let me get in bed first. I'm living dangerous.